So let's begin by closing down our eyes and just connecting to the stillness, the movement of the breath, noticing the base of the body meeting the mat, any props. And feeling that grounded quality of the sits bones, and then that lengthening up through the spine, through the crown, as if I had a cord attached to the crown of your head, and we could gently draw length up through the crown while still feeling grounded in the sits bones. Noticing the body, the physical body, any areas that are feeling sore, stiff. Noticing the quality of your energy today. And being mindful to respect the emotional, physical body here today, energetic body. And as we move into poses, to be in that place of very first boundary. And now bringing the awareness to the breath and feeling the movement in through the nostrils, down the back of the throat into the diaphragm. Steady, smooth breath. And let's do a round of breath work, really observing the pauses of the breath at the top and the bottom. So let's take an inhale to begin, letting it go through the mouth. And now inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, last round, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, let it go. And now as you come back to your normal cadence of breath, noticing that natural pause at the top and pause at the bottom, that sweet space in between. As we create more space today in the physical body, energetic body, aligning with that space that we have in our breath. Good. Blinking eyes open. Let's just roll out the shoulders and the neck. Let's dip the chin towards the shoulder, towards the chest, pardon me. And rolling left ear over to the left side and then down through center and to the right. Before we start any movement and fascia work and then yin work, let's just Bring some gentle movement through the head, rolling down through center, to the right, back, down and through to the left. Turning head to the left, through center, to the right, noticing the range of motion in the neck today. And as we do some of our gallbladder fascial stretches, we may bring some extra space into the neck here as that chain of fascia runs up through the side of the body into the neck, inside of the head. Good. And rolling shoulders up and back. Inhaling up and back, down. And going the other way, inhaling up. And rolling through. Maybe arching and moving the spine with you. So coming up and then doming the spine as you roll those shoulders forward, doming the spine to the back of the room. Coming up, arching back, doming spine as you come through. Let's go the other way. Rolling up, shining chest forward. As you roll the shoulders down, dome that spine to the back of the room. Coming up and back down. Good. All right, we're going to begin our first series of fascial movements. So this one we're actually taking in the shape of deer pose. So we're going to begin with the right leg forward, roughly parallel with the mat. And then just bringing the right leg behind in a comfortable place. So you can have the leg out to the side. I kind of like having the leg out to the side for this one, but you can also just bring it behind as long as it's comfortable. And then check in with the right knee and make sure it's in front of the right hip. So we don't want that right knee out to the right like this, right in front of the hip. We're gonna push this leg into the mat. So it's gonna feel a little peculiar at first, but pushing leg down, tenting fingers alongside your body, and then bending over the leg. Yeah, you've got it. Release it, come up. Pushing the leg down into the floor and bending over the leg. Release to come up. Pushing down, feeling that firing on the outside of the leg, the IT bend. Outside of the hip, coming back up, pushing the leg down. This is our gallbladder meridian, and we're firing up the muscle. And as we contract the muscle and now lengthen, we're integrating the fascia and helping to restructure it on a cellular level so that it's healthier and gives us more access to our muscles and also helps to bring more energy through these meridian lines. So it's very holistic in its process here, pushing leg down and dipping down. Let's do a couple more. You may notice that you start to sense in the tissue more as you work through a few reps. You start to connect with that energy. Last one. Good. Let's bring the feet in front of us. Just windshield wiper a little bit here. Lots of warmth from the outside of the right leg now, right? Good, and bringing it to the other side. So now the left leg is in front. Right leg is behind you, again, or out to the side, just comfortable so that you have a good foundation. Pushing the left leg into the floor, fingertips here for support, tented or hands on the floor, and then bending down over the leg, keeping that resistance down into the mat as you bend down. So keep firing down as you dip down, and then release it on the way up so that we give the muscle a break. We're not fatiguing the muscle through the entirety of the movement. We push down, we bend down, we stop, release it, reset. And that's sort of the formula for this fascial stretch, is to engage the muscle, to lengthen it, And then to release it, reset. The side may feel quite a bit different. Bending down, pushing down. Let's do 2 more on this side. 2. And 1. Good. Coming back to a little windshield wash here. Should feel good. And now we're actually going to come up to standing for the liver balancing muscle group. So make your way up to standing. And here you can place your hands on your waist. See that I'm not really in view here. Let's tilt that up a bit. Hands can be on your waist. Well, you can see my legs, so that's all good. We're going to begin with the left leg as our target leg. So you're squeezing the left leg as if it could do this, as if it could squeeze into the right, squeezing left leg and then bending into the right knee. Release, come up, squeezing left leg towards the right. Release, come up. Keep squeezing that inner thigh. It's our adductor muscle, and this is the chain of fascia connected to our liver meridian. This is a yin tissue in the body. You can also try just turning the left toes just slightly out to the left, just a little bit, and then bring your attention to the area around the ball of the foot and really connect with that energy line through the ball of the foot. Let's do 2 more here. Ooh, last one. Come back through center, give the legs a little shake. And now we set up for the right leg as the target leg. So at this time, squeezing the right leg as if it could drag in. Maybe turning the right toes a little bit out to the right, squeezing in and bending into the left knee. Release to come up, squeezing that right leg as you bend into the left. Release, come back up, squeeze and bend. See if you maybe can start a little bit more to the right as you start now. See if you can come a little more to the right. Find that activation and really connect with that energy through the ball of the foot. Do 2 more. Last one, good. A little shake of the legs. Ooh. Let's come to shoulders distance with the feet. And I think since we're standing, we should do a little shake it off. What do you think? Let's do a little bounce. A little bounce on the heels, soft bounce. Letting that energy move that we just stimulated through the abductors and the adductors. Let that energy move through the legs, through the body, shaking off what has been on our minds, weighing us down mentally, emotionally, just letting it go as best we can. We always hear let it go. We knew how to let it go, it would be gone. But we can energetically try to release it here, moving it out through the tissues, soft bounce in the heel, nice little stress release, energy pick up. Definitely feel the energy moving through the body in this one, enlivening, some vital energy, just like the vital energy of spring itself, right? And that budding, springing up of energy, new energy from the earth. Good, come to stillness. Feel that buzz now. Feel that hum of energy around the limbs and especially the hands, fingers. How quickly we've shifted the energy. Good. Blinking eyes open, let's come back down to the mat and bringing props along with us. I have blocks and a bolster. we're going to begin our first yin pose, which will be deer. And let's start with the left leg in front, parallelish to the mat, right leg behind us. And we're going to begin twisting over the left leg. So bringing the hands and coming around to twist on the left side of the body, keeping a long spine here. And if you want to bend forward onto a bolster or something and come down in the twist, you can. But noticing where you're finding that edge. So for me, this is a good edge. And if I come down onto the bolster, it goes a little bit deep, a little bit deep. So maybe I prop up the bolster slightly. And that's a very nice, sustainable edge here. So hanging out at whatever appropriate depth you have. And then coming into that smooth breath again, which is still settling after our movement. So we allow it to regulate very naturally, not forcing it. And seeing where we can soften the body here. Softening in the hands and the shoulders. And allowing that positive stress to go into the outer thigh, gluteal region. This yang tissue of the body that runs down the outer line of the leg. Just 2 more rounds of breath here. Now we inhale, finding some depth of breath here. Exhale, begin to walk your body up and come over the front of your leg now. And perhaps we walk ourselves forward here. Again, as long as the edge is appropriate, bending over the front leg. Maybe using a block under the elbows. And you can let the chin sink towards the chest if that feels fine in the neck. Being with where you're feeling those gentle pulls and tugs in the tissues. Keeping your awareness in those areas. Noticing if the shoulders are creeping up or holding tension. Reminding those areas to relax. Around the eyes as well, the face. Keeping that quality of softness where you can. That yin state. Good, last inhale here. And on your exhale, begin to walk up slowly. And then just bringing your hands behind your body now and leaning back for a minute or so, feeling a little bit of opening in the front of the right leg. We're not going to overstress this area. It can be really easy to overstretch in the hip flexors, so just very mindfully going to an edge that's okay here, right? Softer edge than you might normally approach. Nice. Inhale. And exhale, lift up off the hands. Let's bring the right leg up. And the left, both feet on the mat. And just rinse out the hips here again. Moving left and right. And we set up for the other side. So now the right leg is in front, parallelish. And the left leg comes back. And then we walk the hands around to the right side, keeping either a long spine or using your props to fold forward. Coming back to the breath and where you're feeling the breath move in the body. Noticing that gentle push out of the belly. Maybe it's pushing against your bolster. And also observing that very sweet space again at the top of the breath and the bottom. Checking in with the body, noticing the shoulders again, the jaw, any areas that are clenching, releasing, cueing the body. Last cycle of breath here. And then bring in that next inhale, slightly more full now. And exhale, begin to push up off your prop and maybe bringing it with you to the front. And we fold over front of the leg using our block or prop, or we can stay long in the spine. Maybe dipping the chin in, opening the back of the neck if it's okay. mind begins to talk to us, telling us stories and why we maybe don't like the shape or anything else that's happening, what we need to do. We observe it and accept it and just keep stability with the breath and the pose. Knowing that this is part of the practice of Yin, is keeping us in these still moments, which is much harder than fluid, moving practices which distract us. Staying in the stillness. And then a deeper inhale to prepare to exit. And exhale, lifting up off your prop, walking your hands back behind your body now. And leaning back just a little bit. We're just here for about a minute, not pushing into the flexors here. Just a nudge, just a little nudge, right? Just like we don't like to be forced to do anything as humans, the tissues don't want to be forced. Just hello, how are you doing? Let's take care of you a little bit here. Good. Last inhale here. And exhale, lifting up off the hands, lifting the left leg back up and the right. Feet are on the mat, wider than your hips, and dipping knees left and right once again. So we work the gallbladder meridian very nicely there, and also tapping into the back of the spine, urinary bladder. Let's work into the liver here by bringing the soles of the feet together, maybe blocks for the outside of the thighs. And if you bring your blocks underneath about mid-thigh area, there's sort of a tender spot. It's a bit like, ooh, ouchie. It's a little zingy there. And that's a gallbladder meridian point, so we can land there if that feels okay. And then running our index finger up and down between the big toe and second toe, landing on maybe a spot that feels a little bit tense or tight. And if you don't sense into anything, that's okay. You can still hold anywhere in this area and receive benefit. So just moving up and down that soft webbing area. And then landing your index finger, and then your thumb can come underneath and access from the underside as you hold both. And we'll hold this for a minute or so, and then we'll invite the body to fold forward in the position if that feels nice. Opening the inner thighs, a little gallbladder meridian energy point, and liver. Just really being with those areas, closing the eyes and sensing into that energy. It's an electrical energy through the body that we're accessing here, this communication throughout the meridian system, this deep intelligence that we don't need to change, we can just access it and help to support it. The wisdom is there, it's innate. It's on a cellular level, so we can simply tap into it. Help the body along. Good. And then we can release that spot and just smooth it out with the fingers. Taking a deeper breath, maybe. And then if you like, you can fold forward, allowing the head to drop or stay as you were. Feeling perhaps a little more tug on the inner thighs now. Really releasing the jaw in the shape as well. Allowing the face to be soft and heavy and just almost dripping towards your mat. Hearing that whistle of the breath through the nose. Noticing that it's maybe smoother and deeper into the belly now. Let's take our final inhale, filling up the belly, and exhale, slowly bringing the head and torso up, nice and slow. And then extending the legs, giving them a little shimmy of the knees. And then let's take Sphinx pose. We haven't done that one for a couple of weeks, I don't think. So let's bring the bolster under the rib cage, or you don't have to use it, it's up to you. And landing over the bolster, elbows in front of the bolster, bolster holding the low ribs, should feel nice and supportive. Maybe walking the hands a little bit forward, arms are parallel, noticing how the low back feels, and when you really relax the belly towards the floor, feeling that nice hang of the belly, nice release of the front abdominals and into the hip flexors. If that clenches or pulls on the low back, just tuck the tailbone slightly to support and not feel that tug in the lumbar spine. So your choice there. And then lengthening that crown again, as if I could pull a cord from the crown of the head up towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Just gently lengthening, like an energetic traction of the spine. Lengthening. Noticing as you lengthen the spine, you still feel length in the front of the body as well. You can feel some lengthening in and around the abdominal region. You can also widen the feet slightly if you need. Another few seconds in this version, and then we'll take the seal option if we want to take it, always just an offering. So widening the hands now, widen pushing into the palms, come up to seal for a few breaths. Really lighting up the posterior chain here of muscles and energizing, strengthening through the spinal column. A couple of breaths, or you can stay in Sphinx, not blocking out the elbows. Last breath here. And exhale, fold on down to the backs of your hands. Take a break. Feel the compression of the belly on the bolster, which feels quite nice. Maybe rocking a little with the hips, massaging into the abdominal cavity on the bolster. The liver and gallbladder are on the right side, just under the rib cage. Rocking the hips, massaging out the front body. Good, and then pushing up. And we come to our side for a moment. And then we're going to set up the bolster behind our back and also have a block ready for our sacrum. So we're going to take a back bend, supported back bend, also using a block under our sacrum. So coming on down to the bolster first, finding it supporting the entire length of the spine and the head, and then pushing into the feet and supporting the sacrum with the block here. So we're going to do a couple of things in this posture. First, we're going to take a nice chest opener, bringing the arms wide, and feeling the lungs expand with breath, feeling this heart space open. And then bringing the soles of the feet together and just beginning to open the legs into butterfly, if that feels okay. If it's a lot, then just bring the knees back up. We're going to hold butterfly for a minute or so here. Again, connecting with this liver energy now on the inside of the leg. Also really connecting with the lung and heart meridians here in the chest, running down through the arms. And if it's too much for the hips or the low back, just bring the knees back up with feet planted. You can also widen the feet and bring the knees together, but we're not going to be here too long with legs open. And now find a little motion, swaying knees back and forth, a little rocking of the pelvis on that block, feeling that sacrum rocking side to side, a little fluidity through the pelvic girdle here. It's nice to bring some motion into these poses after we've held for a minute or so. Moving energy. We're fluid beings, right? We are fluid in nature. Good, and then bringing the knees back up, and now lengthening the right leg and the left leg and seeing how that feels in the hip flexors. And because we're on the bolster as well as the block, it's not as much stress in the low back as if we're just on the block itself. So it's a little more supportive for the low back here while still opening up through the front body and into the hip flexors. So we'll hold this for a couple of minutes, but if you need to bend one knee, then bend one knee and I'll cue you halfway through. fingertips are soft. And if you have just one knee bent, then let's switch. So first bend the extended leg, so both feet are planted, and then lengthening the other leg out and holding for another minute here. Wherever you are now, we bend one knee and then the other, so both knees are bent, feet are on the mat once again. Walking the feet out, letting the knees dip and touch. Just taking a little counter pose here for the hips. Good, and then opening the knees again, walking the feet in, lifting up, removing the block, and then shifting off the bolster as well. Coming on down to your backs. Head plants on the mat. Notice the back body here. Notice the spine and how it's feeling. And then if your block is still handy, just reach for it. We're going to plant it back under the sacrum now, lifting the tailbone once again. Lifting the hips up, and then bringing the feet up in the air, taking the little legs up the wall, or you can take this on the wall if you want. Nice decompression of the legs, allowing the blood to drain back towards the heart. We can also lift the arms. And we can close our eyes, or we can just look at our toes and our fingertips and just take them in for a minute and appreciate all they do for us every day. Right? How much we do. And our feet and hands are so integral to everything that we do. So appreciating all that they do to support us and do things for us every day. Noticing the little twitches of the toes and the fingers. Noticing the spaces between the toes. And then if you like, closing your eyes again and being with that breath. If you Feeling those gentle sways of the feet, the legs, the arms as you hold the shape. Seeing if you can soften the elbows a little bit more and the knees a little more, so that if you could imagine yourself dangling in space and the feet and the legs and the hands and the arms were hanging towards the ground, that's the shape you're holding, suspended in space. Feel the softness when you imagine that. You feel more softness in the joints. Little sways of the legs and the arms. Stay with it for another few cycles of breath here. Feels so nice when we come out of this one. Good, and let's lower the arms first. So just bringing the backs of the arms down to the floor. And then bending the knees really slowly so the heels just sink towards the bum. Just slowly bending the knees. Feeling that really sweet rush of blood back down through the lower limbs, the feet. So nice to connect with that. And then allowing one foot to meet the mat and then the other. And slowly here we press into the feet and remove the block. Come back down to the back body, nice and slow. And we give the spine a moment to adjust here. It feels slightly dull or tender. Good. Let's lift the feet and just hug the knees into the chest. Little squeeze of the knees and rock side to side. Massaging up the low back here before Shavasana. And if you want to land on the left side, finding a little spot to hold and breathe. And then pulsing the knees in and away from the body, rocking those knees in and away. And then moving left and right again, and rinsing that through the low back. And then finding a spot on the right side maybe. And landing on it, taking a nice deep breath. And once again, rocking the knees in and away. Bringing some energy into the tissues here. Taking in sighs if you need, letting it roll through. Deeper breaths, rolling through sighs. Good. Rocking side to side. And now landing the feet and extending the legs long and wide. And the arms come out wide alongside the body. And notice the heaviness of the limbs and the skull. Openness in the front body here. And the heaviness in the back body. And the space and the tissues that we've created. Allow ourselves to drop in and accept this final yin shape so that the energy can go where it needs to go now after class. And I will put on some music for our Shavasana. Make some small movements now. The hands and the toes and the feet. Taking some deeper breaths and moving around the body just naturally. Turning head left and right, shifting the hips, moving around the jaw. And when you're ready, you can roll over to your left side in fetal position for a couple of breaths, adjusting here after being on our backs for some time. And then pushing up into a seat. And we'll just take a small brief check-in again with the upper body, just noticing if we've had any little shifts. So rolling around the shoulders once again, noticing how they feel. And the other way. And then turning the head left and right. And seeing how the neck feels after class. Good. And then bringing the hands in prayer in front of the heart space. Taking a nice deep breath right into that space under the thumbs. Thank you for joining class today, and I wish you a really beautiful day and week ahead. Blessings.